You're listening to the Comic Crusaders podcast. I am your host, Al Mega, CEO of Comic Crusaders and Undercover Capes. In this show, I'm sitting down with creators from all walks of life to talk about inspiration, process, the lessons they've learned, and a whole lot more. What up, everybody? Welcome to a brand new Comic Crusaders podcast. I'm your boy, Al Mega. And today we have an amazing independent comic book creator, returning guest. The big homie man. He's a writer for Omen Comics, Revelation Comics. He has a new kick-ass project. That's the focus of today, called Seidr, coming up with the Kickstarter. Let me introduce the one, the only, the big homie himself, Michael Nunneley. What's going on?
Hey, thanks for having me on, man.
Yeah, thanks for coming back, brother. Since last time, bro. Look at you. You're bringing me some new stuff already. Look at you, bro. You on the roll, aren't you?
Oh yeah. We don't. We keep the process pretty steady around here. We're writing, we're drawing, we're putting stuff together all the time.
Fantastic. So, what you been up to since last time? How you been? How you been dealing with life? Everything good, my brother?
Oh yeah, dude. Everything's going great. Things are definitely picking up since we got with Wicked. Getting a lot more help with the campaigns and stuff, getting a lot more exposure. The podcast, Omen Revelations podcast, is doing really well. Things are picking up.
Yeah, man. So when you say really well, how has it been going? What's been the latest topics? Let people know, and where can we get that amazing podcast at?
Okay. Well, it's available on any of the platforms basically that podcasts are available. It's based on Anchor, and they spread it out to, I think, like 10 different platforms.
Okay.
So I mean, you can pretty much pick that up everywhere. But when on that podcast, we talk about writing. We talk about comic books. We talk about movies, just pop culture in general. Pretty much, we're just a couple of geeks and writers sitting around talking.
Gotcha. And who's the team? Because you said it seems it's more than one.
Oh yeah, it's me and Steve Sellers. He's another writer from Omen Comics.
Shadewing,
right.
The legend himself.
Yeah.
Big shout out to Big Steve, man, big homie. He's also on a couple of podcasts on Comic Crusaders, where he's also spilling, the movie knowledge. Big film guy too. I can't mess with those guys. They get very serious in their conversation. I like me some good old, horror, slice somebody up, kill somebody, get her done.
Oh, well, see, actually, that's a perfect lead in. Actually, we got a little murder, slicing, gory stuff coming your way, actually, with Seidr.
Oh, really? Okay. So talk to me, brother. So what were the seeds of this before we get into the story itself? Like, what were the seeds? What tickled Mike's brain here to do this one?
Well, okay. I kind of like to do an alternate take on history. And in 793 AD, the Vikings came to the monastery on Lindisfarne. And this was the first. While it wasn't the first time Europe had really the white folks, the Europeans there had ever come across Vikings. There was another attack before. They had never come across the Viking attack at a monastery, and as this was a really holy place, one of the holiest places in Europe.
Who attacks a holy place,
right? Right. So they didn't figure they needed any protection. So the Vikings just showed up, they slaughtered everybody, took their gold, and took off. But I wanted to take that event, and I wanted to say, well, what if things went a little bit differently? What if their reason for going there was different? What if what actually went down there was different than history says? And that's what actually inspired the whole thing. I wanted to change the whole idea.
You're throwing some spice and throwing in some conspiracy theory. Almost, it sounds like, hey, what's going on?
Right. Things. This is just put it this way. They while the original Vikings went there for booty, for loot.
Okay, that type of loot for loot. Yeah, when you say booty, let's clarify.
right. No, well, I that is not the reason they're going to the monastery this time.
Okay.
I'd like to elaborate a little further on that, but I can't without
We will.
spoiling things.
Yeah, no worries. But right now, right, it's going to be a Kickstarter, right?
Yeah.
There's an awesome, you got the pre-launch sign up and all this, right? But you also have a video out. So, let me share the screen. That allows is you talking about it. We're gonna get this in the Kickstarter. So folks, check it out now. And Facebook, if you did anything stupid, middle fingers to do to you. That's what I'm gonna say.
Hello, my name is Michael Nunneley. I am the creator and writer on Seidr #1 and the co-founder of Revelation Comics. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and thank you for your interest in Seidr #1. I am personally really excited about this comic. I mean, I'm a huge horror fan, and while there are elements of horror in my other comics at Omen Comics, this is really my first attempt at just a straight up grimdark Viking horror story. There's love and magic, and Norse mythology. There's brutal warfare and alternative history in this violent tale that I just know my fellow horror fans are gonna love. A basic synopsis of it is, without giving too much away, is going to be this. A Viking king is in another country during raiding season, and he breaks a vow of love to an ancient vulva, which is essentially a Viking witch, and it costs him dearly. I mean, you've heard the phrase that hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. Well, that goes doubly when that woman is a vulva. So let's talk about what you can get for backing this campaign. The first thing that everybody gets is our digital guarantee. That means if you back this campaign, we guarantee that even if this campaign is unsuccessful, you still get a digital copy of Seidr #1. We do this for a couple of reasons. Number one, we want you to feel confident in what we're doing. We want you to have faith in us. We want you to know that when you back this, you're still going to get something. The next reason is, we're making this comic right now. It'll be done by the time this campaign is over, and we still want to say thank you to those of you who backed us. If this campaign is successful, however, you can get, besides that digital copy that everybody's going to get, you can also get printed copies of our exclusive Patreon Kickstarter variant cover of Seidr #1. There's also printed and digital copies of our other Revelation Comics titles too, including our Nigerian war story, Insurrection Fox Operations, and our all-ages superhero story called Blitz. There's also art to be had, as we're offering all the cover art for all of Revelation Comics, including the standard cover for Seidr #1. There's also a Seidr t-shirt to be had. It looks pretty cool. It's got the standard cover art on it for Seidr #1. Looks pretty good. Those orders will be set based upon the sizes that you select. And last but not least, there's also several digital copies from our parent label, Omen Comics, as well. All right, let's talk about our funding goal of $1,742. Now, the biggest chunk of that, $1,330, is going to our artist, Tosin Awosika, for his work on Seidr #1. $120 is going to my letterer, Guido Martinez, for his work on Seidr #1. $250 of that is going to the printing costs for Seidr #1 and posters and whatnot. And so the last 2.5% we added on to the gross for that goes to Wicked Publishing for their work in the fulfillment of this campaign. Now, thank you for your time and your interest in my Viking horror comic, Seidr #1. We want to thank you for your shares, for your contributions, and for your faith in us. We will not let you down. And we cannot wait to have your name in the credits of Seidr #1.
Hey, man, you in it, aren't you?
Yeah. I'm pretty excited about that. I really think we're doing something unique, with that digital guarantee. I don't know of anybody else that is doing that, whether the campaign is successful or not. That's
That,
pretty
that's a
huge deal.
beautiful and unique thing for sure, man. And kind of what really inspired that idea?
Well, honestly, I wanted to build kind of a rapport between us and not just with this comic, but with future comics that
Okay.
people know that they're taking a risk in backing our campaign, right?
Yeah.
So we wanted to reward that with risk, even as the comic's getting made anyway. I think we can reward them with that exclusive variant digital cover
Oof. Oof.
copy. You know what I mean?
Nice.
I,
Nice.
I I really want them to feel confident in backing us, not just with this, but with other stuff too.
What are the hosts would say? Is there something? Is this a one and done? I mean, how far you have you want to go with this?
With this particular comic, it's going to be 3 issues long, and as soon as we get all three published, we're going to put it together in a trade.
Oh, excellent, excellent. Woo! And are there going to be any extras in that trade? Can you tease?
I can tell you we're going to put a little bit of extras into each comic. Like for instance, Seidr #1 is going to be a 32-page comic, right? But we're going to the story itself is only 26 pages, so we're going to fill up some of those extra pages with some character sketches and stuff.
Excellent,
Uh,
excellent.
the, yeah, yeah. So we're gonna have various character sketches and maybe excerpts from the script and that kind of thing in with the trade itself.
Oh man, I can't wait, man. I mean, you keep working hard, Mike. For real. I mean, and you say there's other things. I mean, other than Seder, right? Which is the hot one. I mean, what else is up the pipeline? Is it part of an extended universe? What's going on there?
Oh no, no. With Revelation Comics, each title is kind of within its own universe.
Okay,
Whereas with all of the Omen Comics titles, that all takes place in the same one.
okay,
We wanted
okay.
to use Revelation Comics specifically so that we could tell stories outside of the Omenverse that
Wonderful.
we wanted to tell, so that way everybody, because we all got some stories to tell.
Am
Right
I
now we
lying?
got Insurrection from our artist, and Blitz from Steve, and
Woo.
now after Seidr comes out, all three of us are going to have a book on Revelation Comics.
Oh no! Awesome, awesome, awesome. Now, um, what's coming from Omen? I'm curious there from you guys at
What's
Omen.
Oh well, we actually have we got some plans for both Revelation and Omen this year.
Okay.
The next Omen book we're gonna do is Dragon Girl Albino Warrior.
Mm,
We talked a little bit about that with the in the when we did the
yeah,
Guardians episode.
yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah,
Okay.
that's gonna be our next Omen book. We got another Revelation
I
Comics
said,
book, but it's
don't
called
get me
Sad.
depressed, Mike. Come on now.
No,
Jesus.
we got another Revelation Comics book coming this year called SAD, which is an acronym
Okay.
for Sad and Desperate.
Okay.
And it is that one's going to be interesting. It was written by Tosin Awosika, our artist,
Okay.
and I scripted it. But this is unlike something I've ever told before. I mean, this is Nigerian mythology
Oh,
mixed with
word.
conspiracy theory, and it's kind of it's a Nigerian superhero story,
What?
unlike anything we got going on in America. Let me tell you
Oh,
that.
that. Oh, okay. Hold on. So, did you have to do some homework and dig in? Was it all new things to you?
Well, I didn't actually. My artist Tosin Awosika lives in Nigeria, so it's
Okay.
authentically written by a
Oh,
Nigerian.
wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah.
Check that out. Wow, man.
We
And
like to throw a little authenticity into stuff. I'm Swedish, so I had to do a Viking story, right?
why not? You got to do it. Oh, I'm interested. I'm interested. So that campaign is coming soon, right? And I keep sharing it. I mean,
Yeah,
right
yeah.
there.
What right now I'm planning on a launch date of March 1st. That's when we're planning on doing it. But just to be safe, I'm telling people the first week of March, just in case there's a little something comes up.
You got to be a little slick on that because unfortunately, shit happens, right? I mean,
Right,
and
right.
I mean,
But
hey,
the inks are already done. The colors are being done right now. By the time this launches, the lettering will have started.
You see? Hold. Okay, awesome. Looking for. I think there was another video you had sent me. Let me see.
Yes, there was the posters video.
Yeah. Want to tease
Yeah.
people? Let's tease people with this. Yeah, this is a short one, folks. Don't you worry. But I think you guys are going to appreciate the hell out of it right now. Oh, check this out. Yeah, you're going to take a look at the beautiful art. All right, check it. So we
Yeah,
got
this is going to be the first 4 the posters we're offering at the campaign.
What are you doing? So anxious.
That's the standard cover.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
the variant cover art.
That looks good. Oh, fire! Woo!
That's a cover from Blitz #1, and there's that Insurrection Fox Operations cover.
Ooh, look at that. Epa. Wow. I am digging that artwork. I gotta look at it again for myself on the other side. Holy shit. Hell yeah.
We were really blessed when we came across Tosin. That guy is just an amazing artist, and he gets better with every single book. I mean, every time he puts one out, we're like, "This is the greatest work ever," and he tops it every time.
Wonderful. Oh my god. All right. So where can I get all these books now if I wanted to buy them? Can I?
Yeah. You can get both Revelation Comics books on Comixology. You can get at least Blitz off
Is it
of
still
the.
Comixology?
There's, as far as I know, I think they're
Uh,
starting to redirect things to
yeah.
KDP.
Yeah, they're gonna start redirecting things and raping more of your money.
Right. So they're also available, of course, on Kindle Direct Publishing. But other than that, you can find them on. You can't buy them digitally, but you
Okay.
can check them out on Global Comics. They're on there too.
Oh, check that out. Awesome. So, um, are you gonna be touring at all this year in
I
cons? Whether in your area
I do not
or
currently have the plans for it.
okay.
I tried to set that up a couple years in a row, and both times the transportation, the hotels, everything just ended up falling apart. So
Wow.
I was gonna wait till things maybe picked up a little bit until we get all of our books out there.
Okay.
Right now Wicked only has 4 of our books on there, and we have 9 published.
Okay.
So, I mean, we're just kind of waiting for things to pick up a little bit more before we actually get out there again.
Gotcha. And how is it to work with Wicked?
It's working pretty good. So far, one thing I gotta say is about the Wicked crew. I was not all that knowledgeable about Kickstarters or Indiegogos or any of that
Okay.
stuff going into this, and they've been really helpful. The other people there at Wicked, like Cody Fernandez over at Ironverse Comics, and Jeremy Lot, I think his name is. I
Mm-hmm.
can't remember exactly. But also Scott Kish over there at Wicked, been really helpful, giving me ideas about stuff. Um,
Nice.
yeah. A lot of the ideas I got going on with this Kickstarter currently is I've gotten from them.
There you go. That's a nice shop then. That actually seems to care about your success, huh?
Yeah, it feels pretty good to be a part of it.
There you
You know
go.
what? One another thing that we're trying new with this particular campaign is we threw in a retailer tier.
Oh, you did. So talk
Yeah.
about that. Hey, retailers, listen up, retailers. There's great independent comics. So talk about that.
All right. So with with costs of everything going up, with labor costs, printing costs, and everything, in order for us to cover everything, we had to make the cover price itself of Seidr #1 at $9.99, which my understanding isn't too bad for an indie book. But what I wanted to do for the retailer was I wanted to give them a discount if they just want to buy some to sell in the store there. So what I did was I took that $9.99 and I dropped it 30% down to $6.99, and I offered them 5 copies of the standard cover edition.
Okay.
And the way I got it worked out with the $8 shipping is they're set to make $7 on the sale of the 5 books.
Yeah.
So about $1.40 per issue is what they'll be making profit wise.
Gotcha. Which is more good money, because a lot of shops didn't even make that on certain books.
Right.
That's fair. And did you do research on that, to give them a fair cut?
Well, I know that I've tried getting my books into comic book shops before. And when you're just trying to hustle them in and you're not with like Diamond Distribution and stuff, they can charge you pretty hefty prices. Some people wanted like 50 and 60% off the cover price, which was cutting into even my costs and making the book.
Yeah, gotcha.
And so there was a lot of issues with that. But I tried to take that knowledge and figure what I could get that would cover my costs and allow them to get a discount and make some price. But most of it was just done in my head based on my experience there.
Okay. Again, good on you too. Again, see, that's why I love the spirit of independent. It's folks like yourself that go to shops and hustle and like, yo, this is what I got. Pulling stuff out of your book bag. Hey, check this out.
Yeah. I once spent an entire weekend calling about 200 comic book shops.
What? What time was this? Like what era? When? How many years
This was
ago?
back in 2019.
Okay, damn. So you just chomping at the bit, just calling phones?
Yeah, I was.
Wow.
My original plan was to try and see what could be done with getting my books into shops without distribution.
Okay.
And so I was calling them up and saying, "Hey, I got these books. This is what they're about." I was sending them digital copies to check out the comics, and
Yeah.
sometimes they would order them, sometimes they wouldn't. But yeah, it took me an entire weekend to call all 200
Jesus
shops. I mean,
Christ.
we're talking Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
What was the success rate like? Do you remember? Or was it half, a quarter, something?
I'm gonna say
10%?
about 40% ended up getting some comics.
Okay, hey, you okay? So that's not a bad weekend. That's not a bad
Yeah, not too
weekend.
bad.
You
Not too
know,
bad.
that's good. Shit. Yeah, that's hard work, kid. Wow. Damn, your finger must have been swollen like George Jetson. Pressing those buttons. Poor guy. Yeah.
Yeah. I pretty much had to. I looked it all up online. I got a bunch of phone numbers, and it took a couple of pages in my binder to get through it all. But I just went through them and called every single number one after another.
That is insane. But again, do working old school in the new school days. I love it.
Yeah.
It goes to show that your passion is real, especially when it comes, to your brand, your books, your creations, brother. I dig it, bro. You're awesome. So before we go, I want you to repeat to people where we going. Where we going again? So I'm sharing the pre-launch, right? So the
Right.
pre-launch, I'm getting notified immediately when it's live, right?
Correct. And like I said, we're planning on right now launching on March 1st.
March
So
1st.
get that sign up so you can know exactly when that happens. It's the March 1st isn't guaranteed. That's just what we're aiming for right now.
Gotcha. Fuck, you see, it's gonna be that first week. March it's a tentative date right now. There you go. That's the
Right.
word.
It is
Excellent.
definitely 100% guaranteed to be within that first week, though.
Okay, excellent. That's what we want to hear because the book is done, correct? Or no?
The inks are done. The colors are
Correct.
being done right now.
So that's
When
why
it
you waited till
launches,
March. Okay.
right? When it launches on the 1st, the lettering will be done, and that'll
Okay,
only take a
wonderful.
few weeks. So, but the idea is that the comic will actually be made by the time the Kickstarter is over.
And what's the length of this Kickstarter?
30 days.
Okay, wonderful.
Right.
Excellent.
And just so everybody knows when they're looking at it, I took the amount of time I estimated it was going to take to get the PDF made, get the comics print, the proofs back, all that kind of stuff, get them shipped out, and then I added 3 months to that. That way, even if all hell just breaks loose and everything goes bad, we can still make our deadline. You're most likely going to get the books way before the deadline that we put on there of August. It's going to happen way earlier than that.
That's called managing customer expectations. You know, you put the worst scenario possible, but when you deliver on early, or or rather on time, for you, it's
right.
like, okay, hey, we all win.
Yeah.
That's smart thinking too, though. I wish other creators would do that. Not many do that, and they try to try to scoop the money and then work on the project. No. What you're doing is great, and just so let's hear that it'll be done by the time the Kickstarter is over, and then you get your stuff hopefully within 3 months or less.
Right. Exactly. And one thing that I think we ought to mention here is the producer credit.
Cool.
Everybody, even the person that just buys the digital backing, if it's the $5 digital tier, even if you just get the digital one, you still get a producer credit in Seidr #1. And that includes the retailer tier. I mean, picture this. Your comic book shop could be listed as a producer in the credits of the comic.
Hey, yeah, and that's actually some cool swag to show your friends, nowadays. Yeah, check this out. I backed this awesome project. Look whose name is it. Look who's the producer. I love that you use that term. Not a backer, but a producer. Why did you change that word?
Well, I guess I was looking at it kind of how from a movie point of view. When you're talking about somebody producing a movie, they're essentially just given money to make sure that the movie gets made.
Yeah.
And I really like I think producer has an elegance to it that backer just doesn't have.
Yeah, absolutely right. I'm digging it. And I want to dig it's because of that. I want to producer credit.
Yeah.
I like that. That's actually smart and good thinking. Awesome. So, Mike, you've been amazing, bro. Thank you. Anything else you wanna end with here today?
Just give Revelation Comics a follow for updates, not just on Seidr, which is happening right now, but on future Revelation Comics as well.
There you go, folks. And make sure to sign up for that pre-launch, that Kickstarter project, Omen Seidr, Seidr. All right, folks, for the ones that are listening, Seidr, #1 on Kickstarter. Okay?
Yeah.
First week of March. They may not give that date. First week of March. Mike, you've been amazing. Thank you for tuning in. Hanging out. You're awesome. Keep producing, keep creating quality books like you're doing, bro. You got this, man. And I love it, man. I saw that passion in that video. I feel it now. And I know that this book is going to be a success. And I'm going to be one of those, hopefully, those producers that can help make it happen. So thanks for hanging out, man, brother. Thanks. Bless, nice brother. You have a great day. Later.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening to the Comic Crusaders podcast. If you like the content, please subscribe and turn on notifications. Also, please visit comiccrusaders.shop and our extended podcast family over at undercovercapes.com. And also, make sure to download the Comic Crusaders app on the Google Play Store today.